Yay! This new toy works well. Thank you, Daddy, for buying it for me. Eh, what sound is that in the kitchen? Let's take a look. Wow, the sound is just like my train toys. So I guess this also my new toys. I want to play it. Dear, are you sure you want to play these toys? Don't you feel hot near that toys? I can feel it. But mom, the song is like my dream. I want to play. Okay, before you want to play with it, let me explain to you why you feel hot near with these toys. Heat is the thermal energy that is moving from one place to another. Thermal energy comes from the movement of tiny particles inside all matter. Temperature and heat are connected. Heat is the flow of thermal energy between objects with different temperatures. When two objects have different temperatures, heat is transferred. The cooler object gets warmer until the two objects have the same temperatures. Heat flows from warmer objects to cooler objects. Heat can be transferred in three ways: conduction, convection, and radiation. Conduction happens when objects are in direct contact with each other. Heat transferred between the electric burner of a stove and the bottom of a kettle is transferred by conduction. The molecules in the warmer objects vibrate faster than the ones in the cooler objects.
They start bumping faster and faster into their slower neighbors, causing them to speed up in turn and bump into their neighbors, and so on all along the ladle. In this way, the increased speed of vibration, and therefore the heat, is passed on from molecule to molecule, or from atom to atom.
Conduction usually happens in solids. The particles in liquid or gases are farther apart than in solids. This makes it easier for gas and liquid molecules to move around. Thus, liquids and gases more often transfer heat through convection. Convection is heat transfer by the movement of a fluid. Heating a kettle of water on a hot stove is an example of convection. Heat transfer to water molecules at the bottom of the kettle through conduction. These molecules start moving faster. The water at the bottom of the pot becomes less dense. It rises above the denser, cooler water. As the water rises, it carries heat energy upwards with it. Cooler water takes its place at the bottom of the pot where it is heated. Radiation is a form of heat transfer that occurs when electromagnetic radiation is emitted or absorbed. You can feel the kettle is hot without touching it or looking inside. It may just warm you as you walk by. Radiation is the only method of heat transfer where no medium is required, meaning that the heat doesn't need to come into direct contact with or be transported by any matter. So, dear, do you still want to touch the dangerous toys? If you still want to play with it, then you need to be prepared for all the possibilities that will happen to you. It can give burns and tissue damage. The initial first-degree burn will progress to more severe second-degree and third-degree burns, affecting deeper layers of the skin and potentially even underlying tissues.
Burn are categorized into three types based on the severity of damage on the skin: first degree, second degree, and third degree. First degree burn only affect the top layer of the skin. It is characterized by redness and inflammation. Second degree burn affect the top and the next layer of the skin. It is characterized by redness, inflammation, and blisters. Third degree burn affect the third layer of skin and deep tissue. It is characterized by charred, black and white patches. For all burns, remove smoldering materials. Remove hot or burned clothing. If clothing sticks to skin, cut or tear around it.
Some potential complications of severe burns include swelling, severe scarring, fluid loss when a large area of the body is involved, and this can be fatal. Infections that can eventually travel to the bloodstreams and become severe and possibly fatal. Mom, I'm scared. Oh, Mom, can I ask one question? I saw on televisions when we touch this thing, our hand immediately will pull away. Is it because of hot? If you accidentally touch a hot kettle on your stove, you will involuntarily snatch your hand away from the pot. This response is called a reflex action. The stimulus is the contact with the hot kettle. This contact causes a nerve impulse that will travel to the spinal cord via the sensory neurons. Similar to the interneuron and motor neuron, sensory neurons receive incoming impulse at the dendrites. The impulse moves away from the cell body along the axon to the synaptic terminal, where the impulse is sent to the next neuron with the help of neurotransmitter. Interneurons are fully contained in the central nervous system. The interneurons serve as the connection between the sensory neurons and the motor neurons. The synapse is a tiny space between two neurons. When an impulse gets the end of one neuron and has to be sent down to the next neuron, the synapse acts as a bridge. The signal arrives at the end of one neuron as an electrical signal, crosses the synapse as a chemical signal by neurotransmitter, and continues as an electrical signal in the next neuron. In the hot kettle example above, motor neurons send nerve impulse away from the central nervous system to affect the organs or muscle fibers. This causes the muscle fibers to contract, resulting in you snatching your hand away from the hot pot. Do you get it, dear? Yes, Mom. Now I understand very well. Not all things we can assume as toys, and it also can be dangerous to us. Thank you, Mom.